Ayachet USA. H is what my grandmother named me. Ikahaka Tsurksai. She also gave me the name Ikahaka. Tsiskhittach. We come from Tsiskit, the owl house. Genech Kwan. Kashka Kwan. Ka Ikaha Kwan. Uh, Nayachet. My clan is called Genech Kwan, and we also are called Kwashka Kwan and Ikaha Kwan. Yakdot Dach. We come from Yakdot, also known as the village of Yakutat in Alaska. Achtla Dutla Chusha Elaine Abraham Yedu Sagun. My mother's mother was called Chusha or Elaine Abraham. Llwgnachedi Dutchchan Chatsiti, Achtla Duish, Uchtachuish, George Ramos, Yedu Sagun. I'm the grandchild of the Llwgnachedi clan, and my grandfather was named Uchtachuish, George Ramos. Tekwedi Achdachanuchu. My outer shell are the Tekwedi clan. Sheesh, thank you. Some of the really important events in my life were when my family, my mother, my sister, and I moved back to Yakutat, our village and traditional homeland of our people on our Tlingit side. Um, I was 10 years old when we moved back to Yakutat, and it's when my reconnection to my Tlingit culture really began. We had stayed in touch with my grandparents. Well, we were living in British Columbia when I was a child, but I only got some small bits and pieces of my Tlingit culture and language. But our home village of Yakutat is a place where Tlingit culture and language are still really strong, and where my grandparents were well known as culture and language bearers. Um, so I got to start learning directly from my grandparents and was raised especially by my grandmother in Tlingit Kusti, the um, the Tlingit way of life, and was also able to learn in our traditional dance group, the Yakutat Mount St. Elias dancers. We perform traditional Tlingit song and dance from the five clans of the Yakutat area. And a lot of the songs we still perform today are over 1,000 years old. And my grandfather, George Ramos, was the leader of that dance group for over 30 years, I believe. And I was also lucky to learn from other elders, my other grandmothers in my clan, um, Nellie Lord and Lena Fargus, who ran a after school Tlingit language program when I was a kid. So I learned a lot from them as well, and also had lots of other grandmas and aunties that I learned a lot from growing up. And I still consider Yakutat to be my home, even though I'm now living in the city of Juneau. And I love to travel back there whenever possible to see family and friends and participate in our cultural events, our kuich or potlatches, and everything else that happens back home with my people. My grandmother was the biggest teacher for me in connecting to our family history and our ancestry. She was very traditional, and genealogy was a big traditional value to know and understand. So from a very young age, she started teaching me our family lineage through Siskit, the Owl House, and Gine Kwan, our clan. And she could trace the lineage and family tree of our clan back at least 8 generations, I believe. And that's an important aspect of our culture because we believe in reincarnation. So the names we're born with are the names that belong to family members or ancestors that passed on before us. So she gave me the name Kakut, which came from her uncle, George Bremner, who was really close to her as a child and a really important person in her life. We still practice that tradition of passing on our clan names and holding them within our clan. She also taught me our clan history. Our clan, the Gine Kwan, were originally Otna Athabascan people from Copper River. And over 1,200 years ago, we split off from our original Athabascan clan and we began migrating south over a period of a few hundred years. And this all happened during the last ice age. So our clan was walking over the top of glaciers for much of this migration. And we became intermarried and intermixed with the Eyak people for a long time. And then we moved even further south into the Yakutat area where we became intermixed with the Tlingit people and eventually adopted Tlingit language and culture. But we still carry and hold on to our history as Athabascan people originally. And we still have songs, stories, and names that come from our Otna ancestors, as well as our Eyak ancestors, and our culture even today is um, a very unique mix of Otna, Eyak, and Tlingit. And my grandmother really taught me how important it is to hold on to that history and to carry it on. As we went through many hardships in our migration, and we still have songs, mourning songs that mourn for the people we lost along the way. I've been happy that 2 years ago I got to visit Copper River for the first time and to meet my Otna ancestors, and it was a really powerful reconnection for me um, because I had just had my grandma's stories up until that point, but to actually walk on the land there and meet my most ancient ancestors that still live there was really powerful spiritual and emotional experience for me. And I'm really grateful that that I my grandma passed on all that history to me. I was born in Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada, on March 4th, 1990. My mother is Tlingit and Filipino from Yakutat, and my father is Kani and Kehake, the Mohawk tribe from the Six Nations Reservation in Canada. And I grew up around British Columbia, mostly in Haida in the village of Masset, up until I was 8 years old. But we also lived in Kamloops for a while too. One of the earliest memories I have actually is my mom pointing towards Alaska and telling me that's where my grandma and grandpa lived. And I remember trying to wave and say hi to them, like thinking they would somehow hear me all the way from Haida. We spoke mainly English, but my grandparents spent a lot of time teaching me the language. With my grandmother, I got to a conversational level of fluency. So there would be times when we'd be speaking in Tlingit, maybe about half the time, but not full time. Speaking from my Tlingit culture, there is a big difference between your mother's family and your father's family because of our moiety system. Half our clans fall under Yeshna, the Raven side, and the other half fall under Chakna, the Eagle side. And they're considered to be opposite but equal. And balance between the two moieties is a really important aspect to our culture. Our rule is that you have to marry someone from the opposite side of you because everyone on your own side is considered family. Um, so I come from the Yeshna, the Raven side. So all the other people that come from Raven clans, even if we don't share any blood, I still consider them to be a brother or sister because we're from the same moiety. And even if they're from a clan that's like hundreds of miles away from Yakutat, if they're a Raven clan, then they are still a sibling to me. So because of that cultural aspect, your father is usually from the opposite moiety as you with his family. And when we introduce ourselves, we call ourselves the the children of um, his clan, or in my father's case, his tribe. So I would introduce myself as Kanin Kehiyat, Kanin Kehe Yatki Chatsiti. I am the child of the Kanin Keyaki, um, the Mohawk tribe. But you're raised in your own clan. You're born into your clan through your mother's side. So we're matrilineal culture. So everything, all my clan history, um, and practices, the core of my identity comes from my mother's side, um, and from our house lineage, Siskit, the Owl House, or family relations. Your our maternal aunties. We use the term "achtlak," which means my little mother. So maternal aunts, we don't call them aunts, we call them other mothers, basically, little mothers. And the children of your maternal aunts are just like brothers and sisters to you. We don't have a term for cousins. So everyone in the same clan is considered family, the same like blood lineage, but we hold high reverence for our father's side, for who we're the children of, and anyone from your father's clan, you you treat them culturally like as another parent to you, um, even if it's like someone younger than you still kind of give the same respect and acknowledgement of them being a um, a father to you, um, and the we give the same acknowledgement to our grandfather's clan too. Anyone, my grandfather came from the Suknakhati clan, so anyone from that clan, even a little child, I would still address them as a grandparent. Your in-laws are also given that same kind of respect. Say Khaniyan, um, my my brothers-in-law. Um, so anyone from the clan that you're married to, or that one of your sisters is married to, um, you give a lot of respect to, and address all of them as in-laws. Traditionally, as um, a man, there's there was a big relationship between you and your maternal uncle. In the olden times, once you reach the age of like 6.5 to 7 years old, your maternal uncle would become your the primary person to raise you. There's a few different reasons for that. One is that our ancestors believe that your parents could spoil you too much, or not discipline you enough, and that's tied into your father being the opposite clan of you as well. Traditionally, your father can't discipline you or mistreat you because he's not the same clan as you. He's opposite clan. And Wuchiach, the respect between the opposite clans, is like a number one rule for us. Um, you have to treat your people from the opposite moiety with the utmost respect and love. So traditionally, your father um, can't um, be too strict or harsh with you. They're just culturally obligated to give you love and support. So it becomes your maternal uncle's duty to be the one to discipline you, to give you structure, and to raise you to be um, strong and resilient. And your your uncle was the one to raise you to become a warrior in the olden days. So the training with your uncle would be really tough in the olden days. As soon as the sun rises, your uncle would wake you up and tell you to go run into the ocean, into the water, as cold water dips were a really essential part of our warrior training. Become becoming conditioned to the cold and becoming resilient against it. And so you would have to stay in the cold water as long as you could stand it. And then when you come out of the water, your uncle whips you with alder or willow branches on the chest. And part of the reason was to build up like calluses and scars to toughen you up. but it also helped in bringing back your blood circulation. Boys that grew up to be the strongest warriors would lean their face forward so they can get whipped in the face. And, the
That
cold water dipping is something we still practice today, but we don't
is
do the whipping part. It has been a goal of mine over the last 3 years to bring back traditional Tlingit warrior training because, as far as I know, it hasn't been practiced for about 5 generations. My grandfather was the last person in Yakutat who was raised by his uncle in the traditional way, but he didn't go through the warrior training. He went mainly through subsistence and cultural training. Um, so it's something that's only exists right now for us through oral history mainly. But over the years, trying to support our woman with things like MMIWG, murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls, and how much gender-based violence our people go through. I really realized how unhealthy our boys and men have become from intergenerational trauma and from toxic masculinity that's been put upon us because of colonization. And I realized that we have very few role models for positive, healthy Tlingit masculinity because so many of our men are in these toxic cycles, and so many of them are in the prison system. Um, there's just a lot of problems and things to heal and cycles to break right now. And I was inspired by all the stories and history my grandfather had taught me about traditional warrior training, and most especially the Tlingit warrior code. Um, it was something my grandfather liked to teach a lot to the youth and to our dance group. And the warrior code was a set of 5 rules that the Khega Ka lived by. And Khega Ka was our title for a really high level warrior, and it translates to true or authentic man or person. Khega means authentic. And the 5 rules they had to live by were number one, never make yourself heavier than the person you're with. And in the Tlingit culture, heavier means more important or more valuable. So yeah, never make yourself more valuable than the person you're with. Number two is always be humble with the person you're with. I personally translate that as you have to have outer humility and inner humility in balance. Rule number three is reach out for the hand of the person next to you and lift them up. So be of service to the people that need it. Rule number four is always protect the person you're with. So that's um, always being prepared and ready to defend your people. And rule number five is if you're wounded and you know you're going to die, then fight to your last breath. Um, That's what we called the Chegaka Yuchatangi, the words of the true person or the authentic man. My my dream, my vision is to use that warrior code as a foundation for raising the next generation of my people to be supporters and caretakers and um, to participate in community service, to try and break the cycles of violence against our women and girls, and to try and heal intergenerational trauma. So for about 2 years now, I've been working with a group of my brothers and my sister, and we have an advisory council of Tlingit matriarchs and grandmas and aunties that are guiding us in what are the most essential um, values and teachings we need to bring back for the next generation as part of warrior training. Um, and we're hoping to be able to start these warrior training groups in all of our communities. Um, and it's though we're mainly Tlingit culture based. The group has already become um, intertribal. Um, One of my brothers in the group is Unagan or Aleut, and that was a really important thing that happened that I wasn't expecting, but I'm really grateful that he joined us because traditionally our tribes used to war against each other for like hundreds and hundreds of years. Um, and we were like really bitter enemies for a long time. But coming together like this, I think is a really beautiful healing thing for our cultures because we can train as warriors to protect each other instead of fighting each other. And my brother-in-law, who is a Maori, is also a member of the group, and he's been a really huge supporter and um, brought a lot of beautiful teachings from his people. I'm really grateful. We have so many supporters and allies, especially from other tribes and cultures, giving us guidance and mentorship and just tons of love and support and trying to make this dream come real. I'm really, really grateful that I had the opportunity to be raised in traditional Tlingit matriarchy by my grandmother, my mother, and all my aunties. It really instilled in me my ancestors' values on how the women and girls in our clan are our most precious precious members and how they carry our future by being mothers. My whole identity, my name, um, my membership in my clan and house all comes from the woman in my lineage in my ancestors going back to time immemorial. All the most important parts of my upbringing and training in my culture and language all came from the woman in my life. And I'm really grateful for the privilege of that because I know not many men in our tribe get to experience the same thing right now because of colonization. I was really, really lucky to have two traditional grandparents to raise me with these traditional values. But because of colonization and intergenerational trauma that's come from it, many of our boys and men go without that, and it definitely manifests into toxic masculinity and acting in a patriarchal way over the traditional matriarchal way. And I hope that our warrior training group to Uslatzin can be part of the solution. But I know it will take a lot more than that. There's lots of healing that my people have to go through, and some of this healing work is probably going to take a few generations to happen. And I know not everyone will choose to be healed or are ready to be healed, but I feel focusing on our youth is the best thing we can do, and giving them the tools and the knowledge they need to break these cycles is the best we can do. And I try and hold on to the fact that my ancestors used to make decisions thinking up to like 7 generations into the future. Um, it wasn't just about themselves or what would happen in their lifetimes, but what's going to happen generations from now when you're long gone. And I try and think about that a lot, and try and call on my ancestors, all the powerful women that came before me, um, and the ones that I learned from, especially my grandmother Chusha for guidance. Um, yeah, I just hope and dream that every day we can restore the traditional Tlingit matriarchy, and the more that we restore it, the more our people will heal, and the more of our tuwut, let's see, our inner strength will come back with that.